Hello. All right, let's get started today. I might have to turn this down a bit because I didn't have the kids today, but we were watching, we were listening to a story on the Yoto player, and they kept turning the volume up like super loud, and I was like, chill guys, let's relax. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to do, and for the next kind of 2 days, is get too excited and then literally choke on our own spit, which is just what's happened. It's always something, I'm telling you. Okay, so what we're going to do today and what we're going to do the next couple days is we're going to start working on the foliage that goes down into the bouquet. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is making straight or slightly curved lines. Yeah, like this. And we're going to make sure that they come out the other side. And how they come out this side here is however you want to. They can all be straight down. But they should go down into your bow. Because the bow is what's going to take them, hold it all together. Okay? The other thing is, make sure all of your lines go into this part of the bow. Okay? Do not have a line that starts here and then goes over here, because this is just like the bow part. This here is what's tying it all together. Okay, I'm just gonna change colors. So all of the things that you draw should come into the middle part of your bow. Okay, so you can go straight down, you can go kind of a curve like that, but they should kind of go in here somewhere, and then we should have some sticking out the bottom. Some can be long, some can be short. It's completely up to you. Okay, however you want to have them. But remember, the bow is tying all the flowers together. So make sure they're tying the flowers together. Okay, so first off, now we're going to be adding more things. We're going to be adding leaves. We're going to be adding some foliage. We're going to be adding some little viney type things. We've got another kind of flower to add still. So don't be worried that it's looking a bit sparse. Okay, it's really going to fill up by the end, I promise. So all we're doing today really is we're just going to pretend that all of these here are kind of going down. Let's go like that, and then this one maybe like that. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and they don't have to go all the way down every single one of them. All right, because we are going to fill a lot of this up around it. Okay, so today we're just going to work on one stitch, one of these stems. Okay, not the stem stitch, but one of these stems is going to be what we're going to be working on. And yeah, what I would do and what I normally do is I try and keep the same stitch for the same kind of flowers, but obviously you can do it however you want to. So for example, if you have 2 of these flowers, whatever stitch you do for the stem, I would do the same one for both flowers. Yeah. So for the woven wagon wheels, do the same stitch for all of the 3 stems. It just makes it look a bit more cohesive and not like super random that you're just like, bam, 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 look. Here's like a bunch of different, things. So let's do this one down here. I think I'm going to have to move my bow. One of the flowers is taking up all the space above the center of the bow. You can, if you want to, you can have them go down into that flower. Okay. So if you've got a big one, say a big like woven wagon wheel rose right here, you can still have them go into there like that. Just have them have the illusion that they're going into the center. Do you know what I mean? Don't try and go like this, because that's going to look weird. Like it's going into the floppy bow part and not into the center where they're all tied together. Okay, so we kind of want all the stems to go down into the middle. But you can still have a flower right there and just have things disappear behind it. That's all right. Okay, the next couple days, like I said, they're not going to be a ton of stitching, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes max, right? That's with my explanation of how to draw it. Then we're going to start getting into other kind of shapes of flowers, like, or sorry, stems and foliage, kind of like these kind of things. Just drawing them fast, okay? Ones that look like this. If you need to take up more space, ones that look like this. Okay, so we have a bunch of different ones that we're going to kind of fill up this area with. And then with that, we're going to have different stitches that go with each one. All right. So just trying to give you a bit more to work with. So you're not like, oh my gosh, I'm stressing out. This isn't looking how I want it to look. I promise you, like, it will be good. Okay. So I've got this really nice bright color. I'm going to put it right here down the middle. We're not doing a straight stitch today. We're actually going to do a chain stitch. I like a chain stitch. I actually taught it last week for the book Stitchalong. You can do a reverse chain stitch, or you could do a, I like to call it the regular chain stitch, okay? Because genuinely it's the regular one or the reverse one. They both look about the same. This is the reason I did not do this in the last one, is because this color is all snip snip. It's all tangled. It's all tangled up. There's probably enough for me to do that though, if I just take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. There we go. If I could just get a little bit more, we'll be good to go. Perfect. Okay, and this is kind of a thick stem. I don't think I would want to do all 6, but maybe I'll do like 4. I'm going to do it right down the middle there. Yeah, kind of like a nice thick one. Also, I've picked a giveaway winner, so you'll be notified this evening, and I had to set up a special gift card for you in the shop. So that's been all done. I've also done the subscription app today. I've changed the subscription app. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying that. I've changed the subscription app, which is going to save me a lot of money, which is great. Just buzzing tonight, you know? Last night was absolutely awful. Jessie threw up. Ellis was up for about an hour and a half. Miles woke up. David was out watching the Super Bowl. I was like, Christ. Oh, so I don't know what happened to Jessie, but she was not happy. Let me tell you that. Her stomach was like doing all kinds of stuff. And I was like, please don't. Please. Please. Not tonight. Please not tonight. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start down here. You know what I didn't do, guys? I didn't put my stems down. We'll start like that for now. All right, so I'm going to start up here. Okay, I'm going to do it from here up to here, and then from here to here. Okay, and the reason is because I'm going to show you the chain stitch and the reverse chain stitch, and you need to know both so that you can decide which one you like the best. Okay, so we're going to do the regular chain stitch here. I'm going to start down here like this. We're going to make a loop. Okay, so pull it through. I've got 4 strands. And then you're going to come up inside this loop. Now, when you come up inside the loop, wherever your needle comes up, that is how long your stitch is going to be. Why did I say that so weird? So if you come up here, your stitch is going to be very, very long. Okay? Let me see if I can pull the right one, and then you can kind of see what I mean. Okay? That's too long. That's too big. Yeah? But you also don't want them to be super, super tiny, because then you're going to be here for like days and days trying to do the chain stitch. So I'm going to do mine about that length. Okay? Just like nice and tiny, but also not like ridiculous. And then what you're going to do is do another loop. Okay? So we've come up, done a loop, gone down, and we've come up inside the loop. And now we're going to come up inside the loop again. Okay? So make your loop, go down inside the loop. Sorry, I didn't mean come up inside the loop because we just did that. Yeah? Do you see? Inside the loop. Yeah? And you're going to make another loop. Come up inside that loop. And it should be the same amount of space for each stitch. Okay? So from here to here and here to here. Try and make them all about the same length. Okay? And then you make another loop. Down inside the loop. Up inside the loop. I like to pull it kind of up like this. Gives a nice little shape to it. This is just a chain stitch, a regular chain stitch. We're also going to do the reverse chain stitch because people always like one more than the other. And I think it's just the mechanics of how you do it. I don't like a reverse chain stitch because I don't like weaving that much. I know I've done 2 weaving stitches already last week, and we've done them, and that's great, but I don't really like doing it. I think I like stabbing the fabric more than having to kind of figure out where, you know, on the top 4 strands. 4 strands today for this. So I want kind of a thicker stem, but not too thick that it overpowers my flower. I also talked a little bit about making sure you match all your stems to each flower. So if you've got more than one of these flowers, do it for all of the ones for that flower, okay? So we're going to use a different straight kind of stitch, a stitch that gets worked in a straight line for the other ones. So do not do the stitch for every single flower. We have other stitches to do. All right, I hope that makes sense, but some people might tune in the middle and then be like, oh, okay, bye. Okay, and then when you're done, yeah, stab. I like to stab the fabric. I like to push it down, you know? It's too fiddly when you have to try and slide your needle and all that kind of stuff. Right, so what we're going to do on the other side when we're all done is put our needle down on the other side of that last stitch, just to tack it down like that. Okay, and that's going to hold the loop in that same kind of space. Now it looks a little bit weird right now. You're probably thinking, Tori, no. We're gonna fix it. Okay, 1, other things will be around it, and 2, we're gonna do some leaves and all kinds of things. So if it looks a little bit weird, please do not feel like, oh my gosh, I need to add more things. Don't. Just leave it. Because at the end, we're going to have a details day, and we're going to put a bunch of other stuff in there. Hi, Sarah. And if you've already filled it with too much stuff, I almost just said crap, and it's not crap. But if you already fill it with too much stuff, then you're not going to have any room to put details, and we're not going to have any room for all the other elements that we have to do. Remember, we have this week, and next week, and the week after, okay? So we're not even halfway done. I feel like we've done a lot for not even being halfway. But it's going to end up being really full. So, think of that. Okay, I'm going to go back to preaching now because I need to tell you why we're going to start in a different place and work a different way with our reverse chain stitch. So, apologies. Apologies if you've heard it before, and apologies for my drawings again. So when we do our regular chain stitch, we start here with a loop. And we come up in the middle of the loop and do another loop, and you end up having them look like this. Yeah? Like little teardrops in this shape that are pointing down. When we do our reverse chain stitch, we start with one little guy up at the top, just how we ended. And then you're going to come up and slide your needle underneath these 2, not strands, because it's 4 strands each, but 2 bits of thread like this, and then back down, and then come up here again, slide your needle under these last 2 bits you've done and back down, and then come up again and slide your needle under these last 2 bits and be done. If I would do it the other way, so start at the bottom and go to the top, you're not going to get the same look as this one. Okay, so with this one here, both of these are giving the same shape of kind of raindrop or teardrop. If I start the reverse chain, so this is the reverse, this is, I was going to put an R for regular. I'll put a CH, okay? For chain, that's the reverse chain. If we do the reverse chain starting from the bottom, like this, and then we go around, round, 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 round. I mean, 1 out of 10 for universal stitch size, maintaining the same stitch size. But do you get what I'm saying? How this one here, the teardrop, is facing the other way. So if you have a stem that's on the top of your bow and the bottom of your bow, and one looks like this and one looks like this, it's going to look weird. It's not going to look like one big long stem that's coming down. It's going to look like you stitched 2 stems. Okay? So with the chain stitch and reverse chain stitch, sometimes it does take a little bit of like, how do I want this to look? And where do I start if I want it to look like that? Yeah? So I want it to look like this, so it looks like it's coming straight down. We're going to do a detached chain stitch. So it's just the ending. Yeah, this one right here. We're just doing the ending at the beginning. Come up here from the back, inside the loop, and you're going to make that little tacking stitch. Like that. Okay? Now, from here on, we're not going to go down inside the loop anymore. We're actually going to come up and then slide our needle between the threads and the fabric. So slide it. Okay? This is why sometimes the reverse chain stitch can be a bit faffy, because if you've got other stitches around here, so say I had done the bow already, say I had done some more stitches down here, it's a little bit hard to make sure that you don't like snag your needle on other stitches or catch other stitches as you're doing it. Yeah? But it's really just personal preference, okay? There's no right or wrong here. Everyone's got a favorite stitch, and everyone's got a favorite way that they do that stitch. So if you are doing it a different way, or if you have a different stitch that you like and you'd rather do that here, go ahead. Like, it's fine, honestly. I'm not going to hold it against you at all. It sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I promise you I'm not. So, and you can make this as long as you want to as well. It's going to look a bit weird because it's just literally one stem that's like straight up and down, right down the middle. But once we add more stuff, it's going to look good. I promise you. I promise you. So that's the end of it for today. Make sure that you are uploading your pictures, tagging me. I'm trying to like as many as I can. I've got a couple more because every time I refresh, I'm getting more messages. I don't know if I need to log in and log back out or what, but every time I clear my messages, I keep getting more. I'm just like so popular. I think it's an Instagram error, if I'm honest. So I'll have to think about it. Trying to make these giveaways fair. We are also going to do another 15 pounds from now until Sunday. So make sure that you're tagging me, take a picture of your work, post it in your stories, get some friends to join, you know, and I'll be giving another 15 pounds next Sunday for the celebration of the second week of the Stitchalong. Okay, so that's it from me. Today we did the chain stitch and it was 4 strands. I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.